podcast may contain mature themes, and if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Like the podcast. Nailed it!
Morning, everybody. Episode 16. What's on my mind with Chris Shipley? Coffee in hand. Been to the gym. Ready to go. Wasn't sure what I was going to talk about until late last night. I was watching the news and saw a couple tweets come through. I want to play you a live audio from the Iowa State House yesterday.
And I say smut and filth like this has no place in our schools.
Fascist. I like these her pain.
Mrs. Kesenick, that book you're waving about is hardly smut. It is considered by many critics to be the classic novel about the 1960s.
It's pornography!
No. The Supreme Court says it's not. And its author, Mr. Mann,
Is sick.
Terrence Mann, is a Pulitzer Prize winner. And he is widely regarded as the finest satirist of his time.
Yeah, well, I think he's a pervert. He's probably a communist, too.
What planet are these people from?
Mr. Harris, the so-called novels of Terrence Mann endorse promiscuity, godlessness, the mongrelization of the races, and disrespect to high-ranking officers of the United States Army. And that is why right-thinking school boards all across the country have been banning this man's S-H-I-T since 1969.
Okay, so that's not actually from the Iowa House yesterday, but it might as well have been. That is actually a scene from Field of Dreams when they're at a school board meeting and these people are trying to ban a book by a character named Terrence Mann. That movie was made in, I think, the mid-'80s. So let's look here. So Field of Dreams was 1989. So 34 years ago, that movie was made. And they're talking about, in Iowa, banning books because of what they feel is inappropriate material. 35 years ago, they were talking about this. You would think as a society we would evolve at this point to get past that kind of stuff, but we're not. It's getting worse. We are regressing terribly in this state when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't want my kid to read a book that might have pornography in it or a sexual connotation or a sex scene or something like that when they're in a certain school environment. But I've been in plenty of elementary schools, haven't seen it. B, that's what a good parent does. You check and see what your kid's checking out and reading. That's what you do. You don't limit the access because you don't like the material. That's not how that works. And the problem with this bill, and the scary thing with this bill is they can take this bill and use it for whatever they want. So first it's supposedly quote unquote pornography or transgender themes. What's next? Oh, I don't like that book, Uncle Tom, because it's about slavery and I don't want my kids to know about slavery. I don't want the kids to know about, what about a book about the 3 civil rights workers that were murdered in Mississippi in the mid-'60s? It only takes 1 or 2 parents to go to a school board and have a hearing on a book that they don't like or they think's inappropriate and can be removed. Are we really giving that much power to a single person? And I'm sure there's some checks and balances or whatever that comes with it. But even the precedent of that is scary. The books that are out there that teach us about banning books are now in danger of being banned. And why? You really think it's because they're afraid of what their kids are going to learn? Do you really think that if a kid reads a book that might have a transgender character in it, or a young girl who's struggling with her sexuality, you really think that book's going to lead your kid to become gay? No. You really think that if you read a book about the Civil War or slavery or the civil rights, that's going to make your kid feel less of a person because he's white? That's what we're talking about here. That's stupid. History is facts. That's what it is. They're facts. And different cultures and different people and diversity makes this country better, not worse. It's insane to me that we are doing this. And it's scary that so many people are on board with it. And it's going to get passed. The assault on education in schools in this state is crazy to me. I remember moving to Phoenix in 1985. We lived in Phoenix. And I was in Phoenix and I was taking an Iowa test of basic skills in Phoenix. Now, why was I taking an Iowa test of basic skills? Because at the time, Iowa had the best schools in the country. We were number one in schools, in public schools and education. And we're for a very long time. And now we're getting regressively less and less. And the governor wants to blame it on teachers and the teachers union and all that other stuff. It's the same agendas that they had several years ago. And the same people that were coming for schools and for curriculum and so on, as you can see from that clip, were happening 35 years ago. Why do we want to dumb down our society? Why do we want to do that? Why do we want to limit what our kids are learning and exposed to? That doesn't make any sense to me. You can't live in a bubble. Kids are smart. They can make their own decisions and their own concepts. Listen, I'm a parent. I have 4 kids. They came home with material. They came home with stuff. I looked to see what they were reading. I looked to see what they were learning. I sat down with them at homework, even though sometimes I didn't understand it. But to say that you don't have control, that's the other thing. To say that you don't have control of what your kid learns, it's called a parent-teacher conference. It's called picking up the phone and talking to the teacher and working with the teacher. Trust me, these teachers would love to sit down with you and have conversations about your kids and about learning and about what they're teaching. There's not a thing that they're trying to hide. Trust me, the sinister agenda has been put on hold because too many teachers are being driven out of the industry because of all this bullshit. And the ones that are sticking around, that are hardworking and want to stick it out, now are overworked. They sub every day. They go to work sick because they can't miss any work. So trust me, they ain't got time to figure out what their sinister agenda is. This clip here that I'm going to play sums up exactly how I feel about this whole banning books bullshit.
Search him.
Well, this is a book. It's that miserable little diary of yours. Here's the map. The book is useless, and yet you come all the way back to Berlin to get it. Why? What are you hiding? What does the diary tell you that it doesn't tell us?
It tells me that goose-stepping morons like yourself should try reading books instead of burning them.
Amen to that. Try reading a book, not burn them. That's ridiculous. All right, some housekeeping stuff. We'll move on. Got my words out on that deal. Let's see. What do I got going on today? I am working on some t-shirt ideas for Stacy and Caitlin and their school. I really want to work on some resume stuff. Let's be honest. I'm not sure what's going on. I've gotten a few calls, but I haven't gotten a lot of interviews. And maybe I'm looking at the wrong stuff. So I'm gonna relook at my resume, work on that for a little bit, and I'm gonna try to work around the house a little bit and cross my fingers and hope that somebody gives me a call about an interview. And with that, everybody have a great day. Check out all of our pods. I know Bitter Units is going to have a new episode dropping here at the end of the week. They just had a really good one with a local Confluence brewery here in Des Moines. So be sure to check those guys out. Hot Mess Happy Hour, I think, has an episode coming next week. They have a good one still out right now. Side of the Storm is probably going to record tomorrow, I think. Old Man Strength is recording tomorrow. And False Starts with Bill Blank and I, second episode last night with comedian Tim Lulis about his mental health and struggles. And we had a lot of fun on there, too, talking about some funny stuff as well. And then hopefully, crossing our fingers, our first episode of Des Moines Police Department Presents Inside the Tape will get recorded on Thursday. So we are moving. We are grooving here. So everybody give us a chance. Go check out Three Beards Media. Twitter is at Three Beards Media. The Facebook page, which you're on now. So, and give a shout out to our sponsors, Wintrust Mortgage, Revelton Distilling Company, and Brown Dogs Farms. With that, everybody have a great day, and we will see you guys later.